So we've got a worldwide reveal for Modern Warfare 3 upcoming next week. We've already seen things like Makarov's reveal. We've already seen details like carry forward items from Modern Warfare 2 into Modern Warfare 3. But in the meantime, while we're waiting for the full-on reveal for Modern Warfare 3, I want to catch you up on some changes here for Modern Warfare 3 and, by extension, Warzone that are definitely worth noting. Some leaks that may be good or bad depending on who you are and how you may feel about both projects. But as we go along, drop your thoughts down below. Do you enjoy the sound of these changes? What are you hoping to see with Modern Warfare 3 and the Warzone year to follow? Whatever the case, drop your thoughts down below. But if you enjoyed the video, you find it at all insightful, do me a favor and drop a like on it. And if you're new to the channel, consider subscribing to stay updated with all things Modern Warfare 3 ahead of the full-on reveal that's upcoming. We'll keep you on top of everything you need to know, as well as things like X-Defiant. That game's coming up with its full release here coming soon, so we'll keep you up to date with all the coverage there as well. So if you'd like to stay in the loop with all that, I'd love to have you in the community. And finally, check out my friends over at Gamer Advantage for the best blue light glasses on the market. Word code Espresso can get you 10% off your entire order, but more on that a little later. For now, let's jump into it. So let's start with where these leaks come from. A little while ago, streamer and creator Metaphor dropped some intel that he had heard about the upcoming year with Warzone. Now, normally that's not really a name that we touch on too much here on the channel, and coming from a streamer and creator randomly, sure, there might not be too much weight to it, right? Well, actually, that's where you might be wrong, because Metaphor has surprisingly a near spotless record with the information that he's previously provided with Warzone details, despite not really having any major track record going on beyond the past year or so here as being an insider or leaker of any kind. But it's clear that he does have some sort of source within a studio, QA, or whatever the case, some level privy to gameplay changes. Even ahead of the worldwide premiere at COD Next of Modern Warfare 2 multiplayer gameplay and Warzone gameplay, he had tweeted out a Warzone 2 update. NPCs are in the map randomly, container-based looting, as well as floor loot, different sized backpacks for storage space, new contracts, the helicopter from High Rise is usable, no more toxic gas coming into the map, it's Dust Storm, and tires can be shot out from cars. That was on September 8th of 2022, almost 2 weeks before the game was ever shown off, and honestly, very surprised because we actually didn't see too many gameplay leaks for Warzone 2 at that point, or Modern Warfare 2 multiplayer up until that point. This was one of, if not the only really prevailing accounts to talk about gameplay-oriented leaks for Warzone 2, and in reference to those predictions, of those, all but one came true. NPCs started out, the AI were around the map in large quantities, but then were scaled back to just being in strongholds, and more recently, only in the black sites. Container-based looting was indeed a thing where you had to navigate the containers like you did within Blackout, and loot wouldn't just pop out. Different sized backpacks did exist in the beginning, small, medium, and large backpacks, but then were taken out to make one universal size backpack. New contracts were introduced like safe crackers and more. The helicopter from High Rise was essentially just a normal heli spawn, and the tires, they could actually be shot out and still can be shot out from vehicles. The only thing that wasn't included in the full build was that of the toxic gas apparently being a dust storm before, but that's also something that very well could have been a thing. I mean, we recently saw in the end of season 3, I think, that Almas, the city in the outskirts, had a sandstorm going on in it. So it's certainly possible that that could have been an earlier build of the Warzone experience. Then he later inaccurately stated corrections that AI would be only available in strongholds before that change was made. The loadouts and perks would be coming when previously they were not available at all, and that there would be no container-based menu looting, and instead it would come back to the systems we had in Warzone 1. Near launch, he also accurately leaked the mastery camos of Gold, Platinum, Polyatomic, and Orion. So it's one of those things that the track record's certainly there. He hasn't leaked a ton of stuff in terms of quantity, but what he has absolutely has been almost, again, spotless in what's actually happened. So hearing it out isn't the worst thing. Recently, he stated in a new tweet thread, a new Warzone map is coming with Modern Warfare 3 that looks amazing. Slide canceling is in the current build. It was also in Modern Warfare 2, but removed. Also, that part lending a little cadence to it because we did just have the teaser that slide canceling would be returning here. No giant hill middle of the map. Tons of buildings and POIs, unlike Caldera. Lots of areas that look memorable. I think it's going to be a lot of people's favorite map. Downtown is very Verdansk-like, with the biggest buildings being Overwatch from Modern Warfare 3's DLC at the top. Very reminiscent of Blackout's construction site. Countdown from COD 4 is also on the map. Game looks exactly like Modern Warfare 2, but improved, hoping they make animations smoother and faster. Less open fields and more building-based battles. Looks like tons of opportunity for regaining, and honestly, wouldn't be surprised if they tried pushing player limit past 150 again. This map has tons of Verdansk inspiration and little to no inspiration from Al-Mazrah/Caldera. So that's quite a bit to digest, huh? I mean, obviously there's some inference-based information here and feeling-based educated guesses, things like trying to push past that 150 limit, because we just saw that within Al-Mazrah, we actually just had the player count drop to 100, good. But I mean, beyond that, there's some pretty promising stuff for, again, a certain type of player. It may be you, may not be, but it is something that has some potential to it. Personally, while I know that city-based stuff can promote a lot more camping because there's a lot more floors to play around with, a lot more verticality, that's one of the big things that people have issues with Vondel with right now, and that's only like 3-story buildings, let alone skyscrapers. But one thing that I do like that he ended up mentioning is that it seems it's going to be good for regaining. That's one big problem I think with a lot of Warzone in the past, and even to a degree right now, is there's definitely locations where if you're late game and you come back from a gulag or you get bought back, there's not a whole lot of opportunity to get fully kitted up again. And that's something that when you come late game, you're at a severe disadvantage if you are not kitted up. So to be able to have new areas to loot or a ton of density in terms of loot, that there still is stuff left over at later portions of the game, that's a big win, I think, for players. Now, as for what you think of, again, downtown Verdansk, like with Overwatch at the top, Countdown from COD 4 being on the map, and others, that's entirely subjective, and we'll have to wait and see how that all plays out if this does come to fruition. But one of the big questions that stemmed here from this is that, from these mentions, is this still Las Almas? I mean, there was no specific mention of it and caused some confusion as a result. Personally, I still think that it can be. I mean, there's a lot of dense areas in the map that we've already seen. On screen right now for you, by the way, is what we're talking about. That is the TAC map from Las Almas that was found in one of the campaign missions here that has since been rumored to be the new upcoming Warzone map here for this upcoming year. And honestly, I would not be surprised if it is, because as we've talked about, there are a number of different maps that already line up exactly with their TAC maps that we have already in Modern Warfare 2 that fit this seemingly future Modern Warfare 3 era Warzone map TAC map. We have Santa Senya border crossing, we have El Asillo, we have Guijaro, and I'm working on it still, trying to piece it out identically, but it is one of those things that there's not a whole ton of textures in the location that I think that it will be. But I also think that Punta Mar, the new map for Season 5 here, fits in the northwestern portion of that map as well. So it's something that we've already seen at least 3 maps go identically in the TAC map to what we've seen beforehand, and Punta Mar maybe being a 4th. We know, of course, that ground war maps come from those large-scale worlds, so would make sense that we have Las Almas here being a part of this. And if we get a downtown like that, it could absolutely fit in the southern central portion of the map. There's a lot of urban areas that it seems like already in a more condensed fashion by comparison, but that doesn't mean there's also not open areas that players can take vehicles and try and get from point A to point B with in a much faster and safer fashion, as opposed to crossing, say, the sand dunes of Almas that we have right now. There are still open areas, but it does seem like the descriptions here that Metaphor gave do check out with this TAC map that we've seen before. But the other gameplay changes, certainly a nice addition, I think, in regards to the intel surrounding that. So that's where we're at here at this. A little bit more information on what the next Warzone map may entail and how we may be interacting with it as players has come to surface. So love to get your thoughts on what you think here of this. Now, before we wrap everything up, I do want to take a few extra seconds to talk to my friends over at Gamer Advantage. You've absolutely heard the pitch now at this point. I truly love these guys. They're the best blue light glasses on the market, if you ask me. Most lightweight, comfortable, and durable frames out there. But if you guys have not picked up a pair just yet for yourself, or you're interested in learning more, 1, link in the description below, and 2, we just recently teamed up to create the Espresso Bundle, which will get you a pair of the Inferno frames, a microfiber carry pouch and cleaning cloth, both branded with the channel's artwork, and a polarized magnetic sun clip. So really cool to turn those into sunglasses as well. But again, if you guys want to learn more, link in the description below. It'll take you to the testimonials, the science, and all the explainers that they do a much better job than I ever could here over on the channel. Link in the description below if you guys want to check that out, and code Espresso can get you 10% off your entire order if you want to pick something up for yourself. So that said, check it out if at all interested, but that's what we're going to call it. So let me know your thoughts down below. What do you think of these leaks here for the next Warzone map here upcoming? Do you think that they're going to come true? Do you think they're legit? Do you like the sound of them? Whatever the case, drop your thoughts down below. But if you enjoyed the video, you found it at all insightful, do me a favor and drop a like on it. And if you're new to the channel, consider subscribing to stay up to date with all things Modern Warfare 3, especially as we gear up for this reveal and beyond. The floodgates are about to open, plus also things like X Defiant. We are really close, seemingly, to the full launch of the game itself, so we'll keep it up to date with everything there as well. Love to have you in the community if you'd like to join, but for now, thanks so much for watching. Mine is Espresso. I'll see you later. Take care, and peace.